All right, there, the Reds. How are we? You're absolute legends. Hope you're all having a very good Friday evening. Obviously, it's the weekend. And sit back, relax. And if you're watching this on Saturday morning or Saturday, please do get involved in the comment section below. We'll read out all your comments and feature them on Saturday's episode. Probably be a bit of an early one tomorrow, chat. Obviously, with it being the weekend, probably aim for about a 1 p.m. show. And then obviously looking forward to the Sunday show. Obviously, we got the watch along against Manchester United on the horizon as well. So we'll do that. That'll be coming up very soon as well. So hopefully Kev might be joining us. But I'm not too sure. Kev, if you're in the comments, please do let us know, mate. And hopefully Kev is okay. But let me know how your day's been, chat. Hit that subscribe button down below if you are new as well. And really do appreciate all the new subscribers. But as I was saying last night, for anyone watching on the repeat or whatnot, a staggering 55.9% of the people that do watch our videos aren't subscribed. So if you are new around here, smash that subscribe button. On the road to 10,000 subscribers, and to big up to the 44.1% of subscribers that do continue to return to the episode as well. Shout out to all the global Reds as well. Everyone watching from the United States, Malaysia, Indonesia, Ireland, Mauritius, South Africa, Singapore, Thailand, Nigeria, and wherever you are watching around the globe. Let us know where you are watching this evening. And we've got plenty to unpack on tonight's show, chat. We'll speak a bit about Gomez, a bit more news about obviously Gordon as well, and obviously Endo. And there's been a bit, and I wanted to speak a bit about two targets that potentially Liverpool might be looking at in the window. We'll have a little look in terms of, from a statistical point of view, how they could embed in Liverpool's team. And if you've got any news stories that you've seen, do get them in the comment section below. And yeah, I've only just seen my editing there. I've butchered that edit there. Sorry, Gordon, lads. I don't know what's happened to you. Your other arm anyway. That is terrible. Photoshop for me there, chat. I do all my graphics myself, chat. But yeah, I've had an absolute nightmare with that. Should have really looked, but it's Friday. Been a long week. Anyway, and big up there to everyone in the comment section below on the live show. Big up, lads. Big up there, Anfield. Hope you are well, mate. You're doing my job for me, mate. Happy days. And big up there, Paul. How are we, lads? Big up there, Doug, as well. Doug, you are live. Is it at 8 o'clock? You are live, Doug. Please do let us know your thoughts on that as well, mate. And obviously get your channel link in the description. Whack that in and I'll get people to subscribe. Seems like either Sepp or Gomez will leave this summer as well. Lee, Paul, I hope you realise I was only joking when I said Trent wasn't any good. Oh yeah, Paul, we do know. We do know a lot. You've been around on the channel a long time, mate, so it's all good. Yeah, I tell you what, I'm excited, Paul, in chat. I was speaking to the lads before we come on air, and like, you think about how Arne Slot, I think we've all seen how he is with the Liverpool squad already. He's a very hands-on manager. He is a head coach, so he does get involved in training. And he's obviously that game against the Arsenal, I think, for people that did watch it or watch the highlights, Arne Slot is very much a very, very vocal manager. But it's not a case of him just shouting on to the pitch for the sake of it. He's very much directing the players, indicating and exactly he's directing exactly what he wants to produce on the pitch as well. So it's going to be one of them, mates. And if he can do that to Trent and really guide him if he does go into midfield, or if he plays a bit more as an advanced right back, as we've seen and as in his Liverpool career so to date, that he can improve in that area, then but not just Trent, but everyone in this Liverpool team, hopefully their levels will go up with the management and a bit more tactical insight from Arne Slot as well. So that's what we all want. Gary, how are we, lads? Gary, happy days, lad. Hope you've had a very good Friday, mate. And yeah, there we go. Liverpool will batter teams. We will, Gary. And there's a lot of excitement going into the new season. Just a quick one in relation to Liverpool's potential other pre-season game. There was a lot of reports floating around the last couple of weeks in relation to a potential game against Las Palmas. But it's looking like it's heading towards the outcome of that game being cancelled. It said Liverpool are considered using the under-23s and playing a game at Melwood. The reports at the club have been in advanced negotiations over the friendly, which could have been a historic match for the Spanish side as well. But however, reports suggest that the Reds are thinking of using the under-23 squads and the playing at the training ground instead. And that is coming from Bruno Rice, obviously. Obviously, all the story links will be in the description as well. So anything we do discuss tonight, chat, please do give all the support to all the journos as well. I won't read out the whole extent of the articles. So yeah, please do. If you need a bit of midnight reading in terms of the footy or Liverpool news, go and check it out as well and show your support for the very, very good journalists out there as well. So just a little touch on that as well in regards. Gordon, there was a lot of rumours, but I quickly touch on if you've been away from social media today. There was reports, and I say reports, rumours. We'll see what happens really. In relation to Mark Gahey, if anyone that's just been a regular on the channel knows my admiration for the England centre half, and that was before he had a very stellar performance. He was one of the standout performers for England in obviously the Euros in Germany a couple of weeks ago anyway. But I think go back 2 years when he identified him, he was one of the players that did like watch him in the Premier League when we've played Palace in the past. And he certainly got all the attributes to where he does get a move away this summer, you can certainly compliment. But it's looking like Newcastle have supposed this come from Bruno Race as well in regards to a potential move for the England centre-half to Newcastle. So that would be interesting in regards to, obviously, we'll tie that in as well. But this comes from the Times in relation to Mark Gahey. The Times is reporting from Bruno Race. Crystal Palace won 70 million for the England international, with a bulk of the payments coming up front. Newcastle vote open talks over the defender, who is high on the recruitment list as a number of European clubs. So that's in regards to Mark Gahey. So obviously there was reports that they were looking at Gomez as well. I think every club in the Premier League, apart from obviously like City, obviously Arsenal and the bigger teams, but I think the availability of Gomez has certainly attracted a lot of the interest from teams outside the top four wanting to break into those European spots. Certainly. So there could be a potential conveyor belt of signings, like a roundabout, really. Chat, obviously, Gordon might go in the direction of Liverpool, and Gahey goes to Newcastle, and then if Liverpool get Wharton, or it could go, but we know obviously how these deals all do spin around in the world of football as well. Big up there, Mark. Big up there, Niall, as well. Make sure to head over to and subscribe to the Upper Tier podcast on YouTube. That is Niall, absolute legend. Big up there, mate. And yes, we'll get to everyone's comments as well. But let me know your thoughts on that, chat. Do you think 17 million for Mark Gahey is a sizable transfer fee? We see this in regards to many of a player that has come off the back of an international tournament. We spoke about that last night, obviously El Hadj Diouf, and we can all probably think of a player that has come off the back of a very good international tournament for their country, and then obviously just elevated their price on a potential move post that tournament as well. So he's certainly got a lot of attributes. Obviously a left-sided centre-half as well, so certainly could tick a lot of the boxes for a lot of clubs in the Premier League, even in Europe. It's not that it's rare, but it's very difficult in the modern era at this moment in time, because there's not a lot of stock in reality in terms of high-profile left-sided centre-halves. Obviously, we could all probably name 3 or 4 or 5. Obviously, my favourite, you know me, chat, if you've been watching for me for years, is Bastoni. I think if money was no object for Liverpool, I'd go out and get Bastoni. I think I've seen reports last month linking him with a move to Real Madrid. So, yeah, he's a highly talented centre-half, Bastoni. If we had them, well, Not that we had the money, we've got the money, but it's difficult to prize an Italian, especially off the back of winning the Serie A again with Inter Milan. So he's a highly decorated centre half, but I think if he moved to a top 3 team in the whole of Europe, whether that be a Real Madrid, a Liverpool, or even the City, I think he'd do extremely well. But he's already doing really well. So, chat, let me know on that. I think that's a bit steep for Mark Gahey. I think if a club could get him for about 50, 60 million, but he certainly does improve Newcastle, Gahey. I think in regards to, obviously, the Dutch centre-half they currently have got as well. Obviously, Sven Botman, he had 2 major injuries last year. So that could be in the back of their mind, especially with Fabian Schär off the back of a very good Euros with Switzerland again. He's plays in a lot of those tournaments, but he's a very experienced centre-half for Newcastle as well. Probably one of my favourite signings in the Premier League era in terms of how he kind of has gone. And we all know his quality is sharp, but I think for the price tag they paid for him, Newcastle, or did they get him on a free? Geordies, do let me know anyway. I think he's done really well since he's moved, and he's adapted really well to Premier League football. Good lads. Gary, could potentially be, mate. Obviously, Gahey, obviously. I think it depends, though, Gary, and chat. Obviously, this last week when I've spoke to you, I think Liverpool will be and have been quite open in regards to selling Gomez, considering, as we spoke about last night, very much so the price tag that was getting banded round. So it could be one of them, 100% chat. But yeah, let's get to big update. Jack. Possibly a book Spider. Oh, Kev, you're okay, mate. I was gonna say, let me know how you are getting on, lad. But yeah, there we go. The upper tier. I'd love to see Robinson from Fulham come in as well. High caliber fullback anyway. Certainly want to keep an eye on in the Premier League. And let's get to, I think we need a hybrid defender who can play as a fullback as well. So yeah, it's certainly the quality, and hopefully looking to see that improvement in Liverpool's squad is certainly got to be there. In regards to Endo as well, chat, obviously we mentioned Sepp van den Berg this week. I think it's going to be a matter of time, judging from the title and the thumbnail. That said, it's going to be a matter of the coming days, really. I think once we've got Manchester United out of the way, and as soon as Liverpool get back into England, I think certainly a lot of the deals will become a formality, really, in regards to the final stages. We know, obviously, it's difficult when teams are away, especially Liverpool, the other side of the world, playing the friendlies in America. But as soon as we touch down on UK soil, I think a lot of the deals will very much become a bit more prominent, a bit more in the newspapers as well. I think we see a couple of confirmations from what the likes of Paul Joyce, obviously David Ornstein as well. I think it will be a couple of days, but it won't be a matter of weeks. It'll be a couple of days, really. I fully anticipate in the coming days Liverpool to very much more or less formalise or publicly announce the signing, or well, the process of signing a big player, whether that be obviously Gordon, whether that be a potential signing Gahey or whoever Liverpool are negotiating. It will be very interesting if we can get it over the line. Chat, as I said, make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video as well. You're absolute legends, really does help out. But let's get to all your comments as well. Edwards, big up there, Matthias. How are we, fella? Evening, too much money for Gahey and not an Edwards profile signing. Interesting there, though, mate. I think certainly whoever he does go to, if that's Newcastle, he does improve them massively, really, in regards to what they've currently got. I think Botman's one big injury away from Sven Botman. Obviously, not Sven Botman. Botman, obviously, the Newcastle. Is his first name Sven? Or Botman, anyway, at Newcastle, the Dutch centre half. Obviously, he's still a young player himself, but obviously, he's got a lot of talent. But when you've got centre halves or any players within your squad, if you continue getting those niggly injuries, it's really frustrating from obviously like Eddie Howe or even us. We spoke about this week with Jota. I think Jota would walk into every single side in Europe. Well, not every single side, but the high majority of, if he was just more like, certainly for Liverpool as well, if Jota wasn't injured and the way he played against Arsenal as well, I think that adaptation really of him more or less playing as a link-up striker, which is certainly something that I think when Liverpool fans, we've criticised Jota's game, it's never been as finishing. It's very much been that where he can improve is that link-up playing in around the penalty box, because obviously Jota being predominantly very much both-footed, he can shift the ball with a lot of momentum onto his left or his right, and even he's very good for someone his height inside the 6-yard box as well. So yeah, it's going to be a very exciting next couple of days and even weeks as well in the transfer window. I get everyone, people, still Liverpool fans out there frustrated, but we will very much see in the coming days, coming weeks, really, Liverpool become a lot more of those deals become a formality, really. And we know it's more or less going to be a case of it's going to be quality over quantity, really. You look at Liverpool's squad currently, it's certainly, when it's in form, when it's fit as well, it's certainly one of the strongest sides in Europe, 1 to 11. Obviously, we can improve in terms of obviously the squad depth in relation to like the 14th, 15th, 16th player as well. That's where I think Liverpool will really make that step up in terms of going forward. Obviously, numero uno in terms of the main target for Liverpool, hopefully, is that number 6 position. But it's all going to be a case and point of if Morton is staying at the club. If he's not, then sounds how much can we get for him? Seth Vandenberg, I love the way he's playing a lot of football for Liverpool currently in pre-season, but I think that might be a case of points of Liverpool playing a bit of poker, really, trying to get him out there in the public eye and trying to get a couple more million out of the likes of Mainz or whoever wants to come in for him, really. So, yeah, you never know. Seth Vandenberg, we've seen some more funnier things. I think, obviously, Arne Slot will know more than anyone, really, in relation to his profile of a centre-half, obviously very highly regarded before he did come to Liverpool as a young player. So, yeah, he certainly would have been on Arne Slot's radar a very long time ago, and it would have kept a very good eye on him, really, especially being Dutch and a young, up-and-coming centre-half. So I'm pretty sure a lot of the Dutch sides were keeping an eye on him when he was before his big move to Liverpool. So it's going to be one of them, 100% there, chat. And then, yeah, it's just want to go back to our attacking form and non-stop destroying teams. Yeah, Mark, we will, mate. We 100% will. I think it's going to be, as we spoke about with Kev and we spoke about with Views chat as well this week, it's going to be a lot more controlled. I know everyone, it's only 2 games, but I think even when we've seen Jurgen Klopp come into Liverpool and we've seen that instant impact, obviously it took a couple of transfer windows getting the players in, but from a stylistic point of view, really, the little seeds and the foundations, really, for this Liverpool side in the early years of Klopp were set there, and you understood, we were watching the games and we're like, yeah, sounds. Obviously, he adapted it, tweaked it a couple of seasons that gone by anyway, and obviously we reaped very much the rewards, really. Everyone go, oh, you only won 1 league. Where's your one league title in the last couple of players? We've won 20. Yeah, we won 20. So it's going to be one of them. And the Champions League. Yeah, so not too bad anyway. But yeah, love it. I'm excited, Chas. I tell you what, if you are not excited for this new season, I think if we can get a full Andy Robbo back to full fitness, full form, Trent, Virgil, Salah is looking like he's going to be banging in 30 goals this season if he stays fit and he's fully ready for that football under Arne Slot. Big up there, Everest. Thank you, everyone. Trying to keep it together. Somehow it has been depressing, traumatic the past weeks. Sorry to hear that, Everest. As I said, mate, don't be saying what's up anyway, but we are here, mate. Even if you're just chilling in the comments, this hopefully this can help, mate, in any way possible, really. We're trying to obviously build a great community, and we're all here for you, mate. And yeah, we think whatever you're going through, mate, you'll get through it. I've got my back, and mate, and just keep your head up, mate. And I'll say that to everyone, really, in terms of, obviously, if you have a good day or a bad day or weeks to come or the road ahead, just keep your chin up and, yeah, walk on, as they say. This way you support Liverpool as well. Walk on with hope in your heart and just give it all day to day. And yeah, just make sure you got your friends and your family and like if you're struggling, really speak to them as well. Most importantly, that's the main thing. So we're here, lad. We are here. Pick up there, Mark. How bad? Oh yeah, not too bad. 100%. Right. Let's get to two players that we've identified. And I know, obviously, chat, we might not sign these players, but in relation, chat, get your players that you'd like to see. Maybe it might not be a Gordon, but in terms of in relation to whether that be, I think there's been a lot of not speculation, but a lot of talk from journalists anyway within the Liverpool scene. You've mentioned a potential wide forward, whether that be a left winger or a right winger, or more or less insided forwards now, or it could be hopefully we get the 6 in. Whether it's looking more like it will be a more ball playing DM, someone that can transition, come short, willing to get on the spin as well. He swivels a bit like McAllister as well. Would have loved if Thiago stayed fit in his Liverpool career, because that type of profile, someone that's willing to get the ball in tight spaces and trying to manoeuvre out. So let us know a 6 that you like. I think a lot of years I've shouted out Super Mendy the last couple of weeks. I think he'll be certainly a very good player. Who's the lad that's signed? Well, I think Romano spoke about the Real Sociedad midfielder. Was it Merino? Obviously, he scored that worldie in the Euros a couple of weeks ago for Spain in one of their games. But I think it was like 35 million, which is a very good signing for Arsenal. Certainly the type of profile that they have needed, really, especially obviously Granit Xhaka leaving last season and winning surprisingly winning the Bundesliga title, which I'd say it was a Tottenham case, but it's more or less an Arsenal case as well. The majority of big players that have left, like Van Persie, Granit Xhaka, it's probably a list of Samir Nasri, really. Did he win the league when he left Arsenal? And there's probably a whole list of other players that have left Arsenal and won trophies elsewhere as well. Thierry Henry? Did he? I think did he win Champions League? Well, he won some trophies at Barca, 100%. Be very surprised if he didn't, but stop waffling, McKindle. Bakayoko, chat. You can see him bottom right there. Interesting one. Not in terms of reports, just certainly one to go off, really. But in terms of profile of a player, really, as well, you do look at I think he's 21 years old anyway, predominantly a right-sided winger anyway. And the interesting one is obviously he's left-footed. But in terms of when you do look at that data, in terms of, and I know everyone's screaming, oh, it's the Eredivisie, but at the end of the day, regardless of what league you're playing in, even at his age, I think they are extremely exciting statistics, and it'd be very much a strong foundation to build off, really, because as we spoke about when we talked about Kubo this week, in regards to the rumours or the links, or if something comes of that, very good to be made up if we did get Kubo. But I think in terms of not just post-Salah, I think we've got to think about current Salah as well, because if Salah was to get fit, touch wood, he doesn't, everyone will, but if worst comes to worst, really, Liverpool, I think, would struggle. And we know Diaz has played a couple of times, but not as often down the right-hand side for Liverpool. It's not his ideal position. But I think if Liverpool could bring in a player of the profile of Johan Bakayoko, in and around probably, I think 30 million would be an absolute steal for his type of potential as well, if we could get him in. And especially if you can get a player of his ability or a player of his age as well, to very much at the back end of Salah's career. If you're a young right winger like Bakayoko and you're coming in and you're more or less watching Mohamed Salah, I think Elliot has spoke over the last couple of months as well, last 12 months, well, since he moved to Liverpool, he's like, he looks up to Salah, and Salah is the ultimate professional in European football. A bit like when people, whatever you think about Cristiano Ronaldo, is the ultimate professional. He has worked his absolute backside off to get where he is. Like, he was first in training, last out of training as well. Even playing a football at his age, I know it's a Saudi league, but You look at his physical fitness levels as well. I fully expect him to go to the World Cup in America in a couple of weeks, couple of years. I think that will be his potential swan song. But you look at Salah, if he could give a couple of tips to Bakayoko as well, and obviously if Bakayoko just had that bit more understanding of watching him in training, playing with him as well, playing against in training as well. It's not just Salah as well, though, chat. If you bring in a young defender, young six or whatnot, like I always looked at that great Manchester United side as well, even the 70s and 80s as well, when Liverpool was successful. If you're trading fundamentally with elite level players, if you're a young player coming through with a lot of potential, you're going to improve drastically over the 12 months, 24 months playing against the likes of at the back in the day, Ferdinand, Vidic, if you had Kenny and the lads as well. So it's all about having that right environment, really. So if Bakayoko was coming in and he's playing up against the likes of Virgil van Dijk in training, and he's like, bloody hell, got to get past him. Quants are really improving as well. So it's about creating that right environment and really just all the players bouncing off one another, really. And but I think in terms of Bakayoko, a player of his quality, if he was to come in now, or a young player to, obviously he might not necessarily be the out and out right winger, but if you give him the option, Bakayoko, if he develops, if he keeps his head down and works hard, I think in the right environment at Liverpool, not just Bakayoko, but a player of his profile, whether that be a six, a right winger, a centre half, coming into Liverpool, I think for any player around Europe, it'd be an absolute joy to see, really, as well. Big up there as well. Big up there, chat. Is it Ali? Big up there, mate. I'll get to your comment there, matey. We'll get to all your comments as much as we possibly can. Big up there as well. Everest. Gomez, will be like Ginny. You can only realise, yes. But the main thing is, Niall and chat, history wouldn't say that with our owners. Certainly, the recruitment over the last 5-6 years, especially under Jurgen Klopp, was very much spot on. But that is how we've been able to compete with Manchester City. But we would have won a lot more league titles and probably a couple more Champions Leagues if we were a bit more confident in the transfer window, to say the least. We're not saying spend 200, 300 million. We were just saying at that time, could you just give Jurgen probably two £50 million players over the space of two transfer windows? But not just £50 million players, 13 players, very much to pad out that quality within the squad. And I'm pretty sure if we'd done that, I think Fabinho's form wouldn't have dropped off like a cliff, like the way it did. I think Fabinho literally played every single game of every single season, really. And obviously, you can understand why his legs did drop off, really. Anyone playing that sheer amount of football, you're going to see a decrease in your type of performances as well. Versatile player, 100% there, Matthias. Big up there now. How are we, lads? Yeah, signings are coming, mate. Gary Coney, he won't be coming, mate. I think his injuries have got the better of him, really. Probably will end up at a Palace, or he's a very athletic player. Certainly, he's got the type of skill set as a footballer to fit into the philosophy of the likes of Crystal Palace, or even like a Newcastle, really, the way in which Eddie Howe does like to play his football. But I think the most exciting team, chat, from a neutral standpoint, let me know your thoughts. If you had to pick a team, what are you looking forward to next season? Villa with their new signing, especially getting European football. But if there's any Villa fans watching, I'm giving you warning about this season as well. You've done very well in terms of recruitment process, but I and every single Liverpool fan said to it, all the Newcastle fans, congratulations getting Champions League, but it's the 12 months that would follow post or currently when you were in the Champions League. You have to have a very, very strong squad. Even though City can win the league with whatever 3 teams they can put out, but regardless of that, even like Real Madrid, but I think Liverpool did suffer in some of those seasons as well. Obviously, that centre-back season where we had literally Fabinho and Henderson playing centre-half, we didn't have enough squad depth in that season, really. But Villa might struggle, and I anticipate them to struggle. They would probably pick up a couple of very good results. Certainly, he got one of the best European managers, if not the best European manager to win competitions. The second best, obviously, Don Carlo, but the likes of Unai Emery, he's been there, done that with the likes of Sevilla and Villarreal and the other teams that he's been manager of. So it's going to be interesting. They'll do well in Europe, but it's about playing we've got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday now. Champions League football chat. We're all going to be bloody spoiled. But yeah, they will struggle. But in terms of West Ham, I think obviously, as we spoke about last night, the news that they break, or the night before, whatever show it was, obviously the young lad that they signed from Somerville, and obviously it looks like they're getting a potential signing in a couple of days' time. There's a couple of centre halves they've been linked with, or even potential Gomez as well. He's been linked as well. So time will tell. But I think if West Ham can get a couple more players in, certainly I think they'll should be in for a very good season. But injuries permitting as well for the likes of Aston Villa and obviously Newcastle, certainly. Matthias, the thing is, yes, he's 28, but he brings in that experience, mate, especially playing for Real Sociedad. If no one, I didn't watch a lot of Real Sociedad. I watched like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 games last season. When I was waiting on a couple of the results to come in from the Aachen and that, but it's going to be, he'll come in he's got the right age profile. Could you look at Granit Xhaka, what he done at Bayer Leverkusen last season? Don't get me wrong, and we all know it was down to Xabi Alonso, but I think in terms of his skill set, Xhaka, and the experience that he brought to that Leverkusen side, he certainly matured as a player from the player that we did see at Arsenal. But I think Moreno will bring his fundamental footballing qualities, but certainly that experience, that young Arsenal side it's still a young side, but I think he's coming at the right age and the right time, really. Obviously, hopefully it's not like Ceballos. Remember when he signed him was it on loan at Real Madrid or whatever he did? And they've had a couple of, there was that other Spaniard lads that they had. Was it? They had another chat. Who was that over Arsenal Spanish centre mid? Not Santi Cazorla, because he was an absolute legend of the game. But the other lads, I think it was the lad that was at Barca. It's completely gone out. Yeah, they'll be here for half an hour. Don't want to bore you there, chat. Yeah, they will now. They'll go there, mate. But yeah, not at the minute now. But I think, judging from chat's comments here, Wharton, certainly. We'll have a little look at Wharton this week as well, chat, certainly. Back to today's Echo going to Gomez. It's going away this rumour. I think he will go, Paul, but I think it will come down to Liverpool won't be in a rush to sell him, but it all comes down to Joe Gomez as well. I think, as we spoke about this week, if you're Gomez and you're not disappointed by Liverpool, I think in terms of their willingness to put you in a deal a couple of months ago with Gordon, but if Gomez has got his heart set on leaving Liverpool, he's been there for so long, and it's probably the last big contract he's got in his career. He's at the right age where you could probably get in excess of like 100, 150k more on his current wage that he is currently getting at Liverpool. So go ahead, Joey. He's been Liverpool's longest serving player at this moment in time in the squad. But if he was never injured, he'd have a big career still left at Liverpool. But I think it's always the injuries that do hang over him, really. If he does get injured next season, I think that's when his value will very much dissipate, really, and it'll be a lot more harder to sell him, really. Looking at Gahey with Palace, I think Gomez's stock won't get any higher than it currently is, so I think now is the right time to sell Gomez. And maybe Seth Van der Beek or we'll speak about another centre half, David Hanko, anyway. Get well soon, Kev. I'll speak to you after the show, mate, anyway. Bear with me there, Ali. I'll get to your comment there, Put the money on Gordon coming before. Big up there, Ali. Ian Dawes says he would put money on Gordon coming before the deadline. Yeah, big up there, Ali. He's very, very in tuned. Obviously, Ian Doyle. Obviously, I think he works for the Echo. Apologies, Ian, if you are watching. But yeah, always keep an eye on what he's got to say anyway in relation to Liverpool as well. Very, very well respected journalist in the Liverpool scene. Jägermeister. That's nice. Drink responsibly, everyone. It's the weekend, like, but I'll have a little cup of tea or whatnot. Jägermeister. No. Makes me sick. Um, rather have Cowpole. But yeah, problem with Jürgen is spent too much time in denial of what we needed, and then when it was too late, yeah, he was. I think he always said, and we know at the back end of last season as well, though, chat. He said he was not more or less a yes man, but he was not a manager ready to kick up a fuss. But I think that's what not damaged Jurgen Klopp, but I think if he was a bit more stubborn with what he wanted, he had that much power at Liverpool. If he was a bit more vocal towards FSG, whether that be in press conferences or behind closed doors, it doesn't need to be it. But every single Liverpool fan was crying. Like we all knew, we all wanted that squad to improve. No squad in world football can never not improve on what they currently have got. As we said last night, Real Madrid, City, if they wanted a player, that could certainly get into their starting 11. I don't think they'll dare sit there and go, yeah, we won't do it. Don't go for it, really, as well. Chat. Make sure to hit a like on the video as well. Just look for his big buys. Yeah, but it's obviously with the profile of player now, Mark, that obviously Arne Slot does have at his disposal in terms of his transfer targets. He probably had his targets of Feyenoord, but his budget probably went up 100-fold in comparison to what he did have at Feyenoord. But it all comes down to Hughes and the people running Liverpool Football Club that Arne Slot would have certainly knew what he was getting himself in for in terms of structure at Liverpool. Obviously, even if he's been an outside watcher of Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp, I think the way in which we've done our transfers in the Jurgen Klopp era, it's very well respected amongst European football. Certainly, a lot of clubs have looked at Liverpool and probably trying to emulate really our process really. But pre-Jurgen Klopp, that's certainly something that Liverpool did struggle with. Obviously, Rodgers didn't have a clue what he was doing. And then you look at but it's all changed now, as we know. Pierce, Klopp, yes. That's the thing, as a journalist, and it's about getting that right. Because you're there, obviously the lads that are Liverpool reporters as well, they're there to do the job. And you're not there to wind up managers or whatnot, but being in any form of media, you're there and you've got someone telling you, like your boss is like, right, try and get this story or like speak about this player or that story or whatnot. And obviously it's about asking difficult questions as well. And sometimes managers will react in not an angry way, but they'll be frustrated. But it's not the journalist's fault. It's their job to ask questions that us fans, sometimes we're not privileged to. I'd love one day to interview Jurgen Klopp, but that'll probably never happen. But you never know. But the lads started in the media press rooms week in, week out. When Liverpool go through a positive spell, they'll ask questions. And then when they go through a positive, it's because they are the front men, really, in relation to the media. They sometimes will get difficult questions that might seem from the outside point of view, from the non-journalists, like the normal fans as well, like all of us. It's like, oh, bloody hell, he's answered that a bit. But the journos, that won't get to them. It certainly won't get to them anyway, because that's the game that they're in, really. And certainly trying to get a story and try and get the best information out of there. Obviously, the person that they're interviewing or asking questions as well. Yeah, big up there, Ali. Was it Caballos and Danny Sanchez? Suarez. Nice one there, Ali. Thought it was, yeah. Where's he now, chat? He's probably playing for like Las Palmas or something, as we said. Big up there, Jack. Big up there, Phil. Like the final little story we'll touch on. And then before we do shoot off, we'll have a little refresh of the timeline, see if we've missed anything as we are live tonight as well. But chat, make sure you drop a like on the video as well. Really does help out. But I know Kev's been banging on about David Hanko as well. But in relation to what we spoke about last night, similar with Bakayoko, we've got to think of the profile of player as well. You look at the likes of Arsenal signing Cauliflower, playing him left back. Califlori, I know, but Arsenal fans would be fuming. Cauliflower left back, and you look at obviously the transition from Nathan Ake when he has time at Bournemouth. City very much transitioned them in to a left-sided defender as well, someone that was very adept. And the modern day centre half / fullbacks in the modern game now that they've got so much to ask of them. But I think in terms of when we spoke about this week with Kostas Tsimikas potentially being one of those players alongside the likes of Endo, likes of obviously Seth van den Berg and other players who are in the squad. I like Hanko in terms of his profile, but not just Hanko, but that type of player. Really, as we mentioned with Calafloria, obviously Arsenal as well, and Nathan Ake, you need, I think for Liverpool, we haven't got a lot of these players. Gomez, yes, would be possibly one of those players that can play centre half and can play left back or right back. And I can get what you're all saying, chat. Don't get rid of Gomez for that exact reason, and I'd agree. But in terms of his value, I think his stock is very, very high at the minute. But David Hanko certainly ticks a lot of the boxes, or a player of that profile. You might look at the defensive statistics, but he's playing for one of those big, highly regarded teams of Feyenoord in the Eredivisie. Bit similar with Declan Rice when you look at his defensive numbers, or certainly Rodri. When you look at Rodri's numbers, they're a bit like Hanko in terms of he's playing for a possession-based side, so he's not really got a lot of defending to do. Bit like David Hanko, really, as well. But it's that transition. We know how possession-hungry Arne Slot is going to be in the next couple of seasons. It's about killing teams off with possession, but not just having possession. It's then feeding that ball from your centre-halves, bypassing the midfield, getting him behind, get that 6 or get the number 8 for Liverpool, spin on a sixpence, get him behind the final line of the opposition team, and the transition. Like that's the transitional first goal for Liverpool is certainly it's a model that we will see. It's very stereotypical of an Arne Slot football. I've not seen a lot of his football, but when you do watch the highlights, but it was a very telling the way in which we transitioned that ball. RB Elliott straight into Salah's space ahead of him. He had a good 20 yards, but it's all about that final ball. That final ball, Salah already knew what he had to do. The ball was superb. Hopefully, like some McAllister and I was going to say Endo, but I don't think he'll be here. But to like some McAllister, Szoboszlai, Jones, or whoever's playing for Liverpool. But it's about getting that first transition up the pitch as well. You've got to look to your centre halves and either your fullbacks, whether that be Robbo or Trent or whatnot. But I think David Hanko, a player of this profile, especially a left-sided centre-half or defender, that could very much slot in and play that possession-based football and trying to draw the strikers on, the attackers and the midfielders as well, stepping into the next phase of the transition and then trying to just create that box bit of space and a little couple of triangles as well, like we did see against Arsenal. And hopefully that is going to be the certainly a type of football we will become accustomed to. And it's going to be very good, chat, because that's what fundamentally wins titles. It has done for City since Pep Guardiola's come into the Premier League. He's revolutionised the Premier League. And I will say that because he has, the way in which he's played football now in the Premier League, you've got a lot of the Premier League teams. Just mentioned Arsenal there. Arteta's now playing with 4 centre-halves across his back line. He's got Ben White playing right back, Calaflori left back, looking like, or even Tommy Asu, whoever does play out in that left. And he's got Saliba and Ben White. And then for City, obviously you've got Gavardio, he does play. Obviously John Stones, Nathan Ake, and then Akanji as well. So it's the modern day football now, obviously. And then if you do play wingers that kind of tuck in, or if you're playing with a bit more advanced wingers up the other end of the pitch and trying to stretch teams, it is exciting, just in all honesty. But I think a player of David Hanko's, you look at those passes attempted, he's in the 1 percentile in European football. Progressive passes, he's in the 1 percentile as well. I'll be very surprised if there's not reports of Liverpool going in for David Hanko, or not Liverpool, but another side in the Premier League that doesn't go in for him, because he ticks a lot of the metrics for a lot of top European sides as well. I think when I look at his age, 26, 27 years old, chat. Yes, he's getting into the back end of his career now, but this is his prime. Like, fair enough, we were signing 21, 22-year-olds, but I think certainly if we are going to lose Gomez, I think a player of David Hanko or a player of the profile of David Hanko playing centre half, or obviously coming out to that left-hand side in certain transitions. He's very adept at that. I think he played left back. Was it for Slovakia or Slovenia? Well, apologies, chat, whoever he plays for. Anyway, but it's one to keep an eye on, chat. But it's going to be an exciting season. I'm looking forward to it anyway. To get to all your comments before we do shoot off here as well, chat. We should sign players when we're successful, not when we're stuck, and we could have built a dynasty on the back of the league and the Champions League win. But we chose to become episodes of Chicago Hope. Yeah, and that's the thing, 100% there now. Like, now, and Arne Slot's not going to come in here and be a yes man. He's there to get the results. Like, he knows, and every manager that come before Jurgen Klopp, apart from the likes of, obviously, Bob Paisley and Bill Shankly and Fagan, really, those type of characters that delivered for Liverpool. But I think when you look through our history, for how fortunate we have been, I'll say we have been fortunate because we've had legends of the game to play for Liverpool, and obviously legendary managers as well have come before and will come post Arne Slot. But hopefully, most importantly, Arne Slot is going to be a very successful manager. So hopefully when the day does come, if Slot is very successful, the next manager in that phase has got to be, he will come in with a lot of expectation, because managing Liverpool is one of the most difficult jobs in European football. And there's a reason why Liverpool, yes, you can speak about the infrastructure and the background noise that was happening, whether it be the owners or whatnot, and the difficulties Liverpool did find. But in terms of the structure that FSG have built, as much as I get where everyone's frustrations are with FSG, but in terms of FSG's structure of running a football club, I mean, that's one of the most difficult things Manchester United have really struggled with. Sir Alex Ferguson was the greats of the game, will go down the next 100, 200 years. He'll be remembered for what he done at Manchester United in terms of building a bastion of a football club as well. Obviously, United were a big club then, but in terms of what Fergie done, it was remarkable. But they've struggled post Alex Ferguson, really, in terms of getting that infrastructure. But look at Chelsea as well. Like, the lack of football and people at Chelsea Football Club is massively detrimental. I think that the sacking or the departure of Cech from Chelsea was a horrendous decision. Like, as soon as you start getting rid of the football and people at your football club, Todd Bowley and the people running Chelsea, I'm pretty sure Petr Cech in the future will come back to Chelsea, but not in the current structure of Todd Bowley and all that, because you need football and people that have been there, done that, won trophies, or have a very good technical understanding of the football and day-to-days of running a football club as well. So it's going to be one of them. Great to see you. Big up there. Oh, sorry there. Big up there, Johnny. Great to see your channel doing well, mate. I love you watching the content. Johnny, if that's the Johnny I'm thinking of, lad, from school. Johnny, massive thank you, mate. And most importantly, if it's not, Johnny, nice one, lads. Really appreciate it, everyone. As I said, I need to be a lot more consistent. But the most importantly, everyone, I just hope you are enjoying the shows. Hopefully, we are in for a very good season, most importantly. But use are the foundations of this channel, everyone. I know I've been going on for about 7-8 years, but I know sometimes not as consistent as I want to be. But sometimes life is you're busy. You are busy with everything anyway. But I try this season to be as consistent as I possibly can. But most importantly, you are all keeping safe and well. And obviously, even if not everyone can catch the live streams as well. But everyone, Johnny, as I said, Jen, hope you had a very good Friday, my good mate, as well. You're all absolute legends. Wiggs, me good mate as well. Wiggs, I love your profile picture there, lads. Ace Ventura. I know you've danced like Ace Ventura on a couple of nights out, lads. Oh, yeah, bouncing out the shapes, lad. Hopefully it's not a bit like the In-Betweeners. I dance like that. Well, I don't dance. Just stand still. And just, don't want to be seeing it. Proper dad dancing. Shocking. I might do it if we win the league this season, but you know. Big up there, chat. Ricky, lads. How are we, lads? Get your comments in. Wigs, I'm going to depart here because it's absolutely, been on for 50 minutes as well. I'm sweating, absolutely sweating. It's roasting in Liverpool, especially this last week. Very humid anyway. But chat, have a lovely rest of your Friday night. If you're going out tonight, be sensible, but most importantly, enjoy yourself. And if you're in with the family or your mates or whatnot, look after yourself, enjoy it. It's the weekend, and health is wealth, as always, chat. And we'll be back tomorrow for an early episode, thinking around 1 p.m. UK time, GMT. And we should, let me check. I should know this when Liverpool are playing United, but apologies there, chat. If it's not Sunday morning, we'll do a watch along because I need my sleep. When are we playing? The 4th. Oh, don't tell me that's Sunday morning. When's the 4th? Oh, yeah. Game over, chat. Built up the excitement there. But Kev will be doing a watch along. Yeah, it's Sunday morning. No, can't be doing that. If it was Saturday morning, then sounds. Because I need about 10 alarms to wake myself up in the morning. So, chat, have a lovely rest of your night. Thank you for all tuning in. Anyone watching on the repeat, do get your comments in. Let us know what we've all discussed tonight. And hopefully, as we said from the title and the thumbnail, once Liverpool get back into the UK, or once we've got the United game off, I think a lot more of the deals will get a lot more public, really, and we'll see a couple more official announcements for the likes of David Ornstein and the likes of Paul Joyce and all the other very well-respected journalists out there. Chat, see you later. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m.